Alright folks, it is the wee hours again. We're off on an adventure. We got a later start than we wanted, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go with what feels right. And I've never been much of a conventional man anyways. So off we go to National Forest Road camping. Another adventure with TK. We'll see what we get ourselves into. What's up, my dear viewer? Thankful for your time and your attention and spending a little bit of your life for these moments with me. Pretty awesome. We're looking out at the North Cascades National Park right now, and we're way up on a National Forest Road, and it's pretty remote. There's no one else back here. It's pretty overgrown coming in, so I'll be honest, in my previous vehicle, I have at times carried a chainsaw and like tow straps, and I had a hitch, and my plan was, well, if a tree falls across, I'll chop it into pieces and move it. This vehicle, I don't have those equipments, you might say, those tools, that equipment, so not feeling super excited about that. And I also got in really late/early. It is well past 5:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna sleep for a while. And then there's a trail right behind you where I'm sleeping, and I'm gonna go down and check out a lake, and so I'll show you that too. But you might have heard the woodpecker back there. Heard a couple of them, and they're being really active. Also heard an insect that sounded almost like a chainsaw. It sounded like a motor. I don't know what it was, some sort of fly or beetle. I really don't know. I couldn't see. But it's really cool back here. If you look down, try to show you down into the valley down there. And you know, I'll be honest, I needed to be a little bit more cautious coming in. The road's very overgrown, and it's changing all the time. Since the last time I was here, there's some rocks and obstacles that if you were in a large enough vehicle, you wouldn't even really be able to get around them. You could scratch up your vehicle, and I probably could have been more cautious. So little reminder, it's not really super great to come in at a weird hour if you're tired, and it's easy to make a mistake, right? So just full transparency with my audience, because you know, that's how we build trust, right? We're in this thing together. So this is the whole awesomeness. This has been a really special place for me in the past. I don't know all the features, but I mean, you can see, look at that right there. And you know, I can maybe try and look some of this up and share that in the description, or not, you know, just fly by the seat of our pants. But no, truly, you know, this is a special park, and broke, so we broke camp, and we're gonna go actually sleep down at the lake. I brought, I've got a bit of stuff here. I've got my little guitar. It's a guitarlele, so it's not a ukulele, but it's like one. It's a little guitar. And then I've got my sleeping bag, tent, all the goodies, and I'm heading down back to that really cool campsite that I found. Someone put a lot of love into that, and I had kind of a weird start to this whole adventure because I got such a late start and it was not wise on my part. So sort of trying to rebound and get into a good spot. And this place was extremely inviting. So we're heading back and we're going to set up. It'll probably take like 10-15 minutes to set up again, and we should be good to go. Did you hear that owl? How cool was that? Quite interesting. Got these little balls of ice, little bits of hail that are coming down, which is super interesting because it's not that cold. So it's much colder in the upper atmosphere, and then the ice is forming and then falling down. Y'all, we're about to start our little ceremonial fire. I always like to have special fires when I'm out and think about things. I laid out my little stones. Super new agey, I know, but I can't help it. I feel like these gems are so awesome. I like to bring gems with me and set some intentions. Thought you might think this is kind of cool. Someone carved this mushroom into this log. Pretty impressive work. There's also these banquet caps that are kind of peppered throughout this campsite. So someone drank a bunch of banquet and was very productive. Speaking of, normally I would pick that up, but somehow it feels like it's part of the scene. The wind is kicked up. I've seen about 3 people today that are passing through on different hikes or activities, and I haven't spoken with anyone for at least over 24 hours. So that was, whoa, someone came out of the woods and scared the shit out of me. Other than that, I am about to get my fire going. All right, we're boiling our water off. Ran out of water in my big tank, and so I've just been fetching from the lake right now. And I'm gonna take one of these tri-oral rehydration salts. They've got calcium, potassium, sugar. Basically, it helps with the chemical channels for your muscles so that you don't cramp up. And I've noticed instant relief with these. This is like medical grade. So when you see these, electrolyte powders, a lot of times they're pretty actually low. And this is awesome. This stuff's like the real deal that you keep in your first aid kit. So about to have that, and I'm ready for it. Here we go. Well, folks, we're all packed up. There's another banquet cap. Ye old banquet bushcrafter. Just give him a 6-pack of banquet and he'll build you a shelter. I'd bring him camping with me. I could make the fire and I could cook, and he could make me a bed of these beautiful shavings, because it was like sleeping on a bed. And it was awesome. So thank you to whoever put all the hard work into that. That's a technique I'm going to have to look up, because that's cool. And then we're out here just chilling. See ya. Awesome waterfall right off the road.